We're live! We're live!
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
everyone.
And nothing could possibly go wrong.
Not from here. I think we've pretty much worked it all out. Hey, we are live for the first time. If you're listening to this after the fact, we're probably not currently live on the audio version, but we are live on YouTube with our community, and I'm so excited.
Wow.
Bob, I missed you.
Oh, hi. It's good to be back.
You were gone. You were gone. You went to places. We're going to talk about it.
I went on the longest trip I've been on in like a really long time. And it was probably a bad idea.
You went and gambled, and then you went and played a bunch of video games. Now, I want to ask right away, I asked you to put 100 down on the Nontendo account. Did you do it?
I did not do that because that would be logistically confusing. But I did win $100.
That's good.
I have never taken money out of the Nontendo account. And neither of you.
Other than to pay myself for like trips to New York. How much did you lose in Vegas?
No, I went up $100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're net positive. We're net positive. Yay! I'm just gonna roll the intro. I'm rolling.
I've been waiting.
Yeah, wow, yay, Nontendo Podcast. Here it is, live, and nothing could possibly go wrong.
This is a big one. I'm really excited for this. You know, not only are we like live for the first time, looking at chat. Hi. Oh,
Hi.
Look at Scootish in the chat. Oh my lord.
Oh my
But
lord.
I'm not gonna focus on that too much because the audio listeners will probably get frustrated with us.
Yes.
There is a new Nintendo Direct coming this month. Bob, are you excited?
Yes, I'm very excited. So every September there's a direct. I think they missed like 1 year of directs.
Well,
in
I
September.
have it.
You have the list?
So, I have the list. So out of the last 10 years, there's been a direct in 8 of the Septembers, and in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's been one nonstop. So this would be the 8th concurrent September direct. So everything from the 1st to the 13th, the 17th, it seems like they kind of hit around those points. So they either do really early, so we got a 1st, 4th, and a 3rd, which we've missed. And then they've done 2 13s and a 17. So we could be looking at this thing middle of next week, anywhere around Friday, maybe?
I saw a fake Nintendo Direct announcement today. I think Ant Dude quote tweeted it, and it's what I woke up to. I woke up, rolled over, and opened Twitter, which is a horrible idea. I think I do it every morning. It's a terrible way to go about life.
That's how I wake up too.
I rolled over, opened up Twitter, and it was it said September 9th, which is tomorrow, Nintendo Direct announcement. But it was talking about 3DS hacking. It was a meme.
Oh
it was
lord.
a joke. And I had a little mini panic attack because I wanted to post a video tomorrow, and that would ruin my whole life. Really,
you would have to get up, do what I do, get up super early, react to it, get the video out in a couple hours, and then that's your video for the day.
That's gonna be us next week, probably.
I love doing it. Honestly, I love it. I know
I don't.
I know you don't. Here's the thing. I always complain about getting up early, and I gotta admit, it does suck because they always do the directs at a stupid hour in the morning. But it means I get to get up, get a video made, and I only really put out a video once a week. Get a video made, and it's up, and it's over with in like 3 hours, and then I'm done for a whole week.
Yeah,
that's kind of amazing.
That's nice, but I like to spend a lot of time on the video. I like to have like something that's like nice that like lives on my channel. Like, you know, like people think about that with their Instagram feeds. They want to scroll through the Instagram feed. They want everything to look nice in the set, you know? And doing Nintendo Direct reaction, it's just like a quick dirty thing, and it just feels wrong. But I do like not having to do anything else that week.
I do try really hard to make mine quality. You know, I set the cameras up right. I try and edit it as best I can. I'm not doing like skits and stuff though.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing. Like we have to have every one of our videos basically has to have a sponsorship, or else we have to do another video for the month. So like if they do it on like Tuesday, like this, when it's probably not gonna have a sponsor in it because I do all my sponsor spots on like Mondays.
See, I this doesn't matter at all to the podcast, but I shoot mine. I already have a couple ready. I just need videos for them, so it works out for me perfect.
God, I gotta do that. I gotta preload better.
But it's not just analytics. It's not just people looking at the last like 8 years or whatever and saying, well, we'll probably get one. While we most likely will. I mean, we haven't had one in so long. And any later than doing one in September, I mean, obviously you're looking at October. So you're like, any new things that get announced at that point, you're putting them out hopefully early November, mid-November to get in for holiday season. It's just it's too late. It doesn't make any sense. What did you say?
It's a good band, Early November. Ever heard of them?
Is it really? I'll have to look it up after this. Anyway, September makes the most sense, which is why they probably always end up in September, because Nintendo panics and realizes, oh God, we got to do one. But
they haven't had the last thing they did was the partnership.
No, I know.
We thought was supposed to be an actual Nintendo Direct.
But what got people really talking was a gentleman named Mike, I'm trying to find it, Minotti, who works for GamesBeat, an editor at GamesBeat. He quoted during a stream that it's going to be a Zelda blowout. He said, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of Zelda stuff at this thing. He revealed that Twilight Princess and Wind Waker ports are going to be released, and that, yeah, the Direct is going to be kind of a Zelda blowout. So I assume what that would mean is it's just going to be Zelda heavy. We're probably going to see a lot of Breath of the Wild 2. I'm wondering if we're going to get another delay, because here's something that a lot of us have noticed. If you've been following Nintendo and Zelda for a while, Zelda always gets delayed. It just always does. It gets delayed a couple of times. And then what Nintendo does is they'll re-release or they'll port a previous Zelda to tie everyone, all the fans over in the meantime. It's been a long-running thing. I can't remember exactly what Zeldas were released to tie over what releases. It's just been a thing. So if Nintendo are looking at putting Twilight and Wind Waker on the Switch and announcing it September, I would expect about a month turnaround, probably getting them around October, late October, somewhere around there. I don't know if we would get Breath of the Wild 2. I mean, what, March at the earliest?
I would always assume March, but I mean, everything's been delayed across the whole games industry. Everything's been being delayed more and more. So like, I feel like when they have a big release window, they usually go for like the end of the window. But I think March makes the most sense. Did they delay Breath of the Wild 2? I forgot. Wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it's been delayed and put. I mean, initially it was this
but
year.
Did they give? Oh, it was supposed to be this. Yes, it was. You're right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think they already delayed it once, so I think March makes the most sense. But yeah, otherwise, remember when this year started? We had there was so much like hope. There was like so much stuff coming out. And now we're towards, we're like, what, 3/4 of the way through the year. And I'm like, some of that stuff has come and gone. Some of it has been massively delayed. Some of it still doesn't have a release date.
Yeah, and I got to say this whole year has been pretty lackluster in general. I mean, we're coming into the final quarter and we're probably going to see some cool things. Like even other places like God of War, we got Splatoon launching literally tomorrow, which we'll talk about. But yeah, I mean, even just looking at like Xbox, and let's not go into that whole thing, but there's been one exclusive released, I believe, and it was like a little indie gem that no one really talked about this whole year.
Wait, for what?
For Xbox, just like the whole
Xbox,
the whole
Xbox,
of Xbox.
I just assume they don't have any exclusives. I just write that off. That's just a Game Pass machine.
That's a whole conversation I would like to have at some point. I might even make a YouTube video about that, because I think that whole situation is getting a bit nutty. But yeah, even just looking at Nintendo, it's been a little bit lackluster. But we're still getting Bayonetta this year, pretty sure.
Yeah,
unless they delay that.
Where is it? Like,
no, I know. Well, that's this Direct is hopefully, unless a lot of projects are getting delayed, is hopefully going to be insane. This might be the best Direct we've ever had. I mean, you might be looking at Bayonetta getting a hard release date. And I think Bayonetta is an October game because, it's that season, spooky, just very October-y, Halloween-y Bayonetta. It goes hand in hand. That said, we're only a month away from it, and I think it would be pretty insane to get, after all this time, years of waiting, we get a release date for Bayonetta a month before it releases. But it's definitely an October I would give it a November game. So if we get that, we get these GameCube games, these Zelda games. You mentioned something about actual GameCube games coming to Switch.
Yeah, so that's a big rumor right now too, is that there will be GameCube games in some way. I think Liam Robertson, who's another industry guy, said that they're making a whole bunch of remasters or something. Or he alluded to the fact that this month's going to be a good month for GameCube fans. And then Nate the Hate, our little friend over on the Spawncast, responded and said, yeah, basically F-Zero is going to be sick. And then Liam's like, I don't think we're on the same page. But it's the question is, are we going to... It seems like all these people are certain we're going to get GameCube games in some capacity. The question is, are the GameCube games going to be remasters? Are we going to have to buy them individually, or are they going to come to Nintendo Switch Online? I think the general assumption is that they're going to be remasters. Because we've had the Metroid Prime remaster on the back burner that's been rumored for years. It's just been sitting around waiting for Metroid Prime 4 to come to life. So we don't know. We don't know if it's going to be part of a subscription service or if we're going to be able to buy these games individually. I don't know what I would prefer. I selfishly, I already have the Nintendo Switch Online subscription. I have the expansion pass, so I'd like it all to be there because I'd like to be able to jump in and out and try all these different games. I don't want to have to buy each individual one and play them for 2 seconds to see how they run. But I could understand why people would want to just buy one game. Maybe they want F-Zero and they don't want Twilight Princess or something like that.
I got a couple of things here. One, I'm glad we're live because I caught something and I'm going to get to it in a second.
Oh, God.
But I kind of hope the GameCube games come to the Virtual Console, again, selfishly, because we're already paying for it. And I think that expansion pass needs some extra content. But also, what's the first thing so many of us, including you and I, do when we get these retro handhelds? GameCube games, like getting Wind Waker and Eternal Darkness and stuff like that on those. So,
but
I would love
why
to have
is
portable? Because I want to play them on the go, and I want them free, and I want to emulate them on my Switch.
Well, the reason I think we jump to GameCube when we try to emulate on these retro handhelds is because that's the max it can do.
Yeah,
if
that is true.
If it could do like Wii U, Nintendo Switch, and stuff, maybe we would. Well, actually, no. I mean.
Yeah, I don't know about that because we
have the Switch already.
Yeah, we have the Switch already.
And that's a dicey territory, emulating Switch stuff.
But you also get dicey with the GameCube stuff too, because Nintendo are like, here's all the GameCube stuff for free, but also we want to charge you for Wind Waker. Right. But the thing I missed is, and you guys are right, I'm a fake fan. I really should have caught this. I forgot Bayonetta 3 does have a release date. So glad we're live, looking at you, chat. And it is October. It's October 28th, just in time for Halloween. Perfect time to drop it, literally, as I was trying to say.
You were a little right.
I was a little right. I mean, I knew when it would make sense to release it, and clearly Nintendo does too. So I'm glad they listened to me retroactively. Thank you, Nintendo. No, yeah, I did miss that. Thank you, chat. I appreciate it. It is cool being live as well.
What else do we need to know from this Nintendo Direct? I mean, there's got to be some games that we don't know about that they're gonna just fire out.
No, definitely. I would love to finally get an update on Advance Wars.
That's a little scary, yeah. That's I feel like that's gonna be on the back burner for a long time.
Yeah, sadly, I know the situation is intense to talk about, but that situation doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon.
Yeah.
So maybe we won't even hear about it, honestly. Probably not now I think about it. I just want to play the game.
Chat is reminding you about Monkey Island.
What about it? When does that come out?
Does it have a date?
I'm sure it does. No, I'm super excited for Monkey Island. I don't think we have to see it in the Direct, but I'm definitely excited to start playing it.
Oh, it says coming September 19th.
Oh my God, that's soon.
That's so soon.
Yo, Nintendo Direct on the 19th. What did it say, 19th?
Yeah, 19th.
What date is the 19th? Imagine. That's a Monday.
That's a weird day for a game.
But they do Directs on Monday.
Oh,
Can you imagine? A Monday Direct? And because that game is launching first on Switch, right? I'm pretty sure. It's like a timed exclusive.
That I
think.
Don't know.
But either way, that is a weird day to release a game. What if they're trying to sync it up with the Direct? And Nintendo's going to do the whole available now thing.
There's another game coming out this month that was just announced less than a week ago. Shovel Knight Dig. It's coming out the 23rd, I believe.
Okay.
And that game's been in development for a long time. I played it at PAX East in 2020, and then it went dark up until a week ago when they dropped the date. So it's also possible that was supposed to be announced or coincide with the direct in some way, because it wasn't in the indie direct or anything.
That would be a Friday, which I could see a Friday direct too.
Well, I don't think necessarily the release of that game would coincide with a Nintendo Direct. I think that Nintendo has been kind of moving things around, pushing things back. Maybe they had an announcement planned, and they're kind of trying to move some stuff around so things line up a little better. And I think like Yacht Club was probably like, well, we had a contract, we got to announce the thing, so we'll just announce the thing. That's what I think.
Last year's Nintendo Direct was the 23rd.
Whoa.
I'm just saying.
Listen, it's possible. It's possible we wake up on Monday and they're like, Nintendo Direct, here we go. But I think the way things have been going, I think it'll probably be later in the month.
Oh no, hold on. Let me look. Yo, I'm noticing another pattern right now. Okay. The last two Nintendo Directs were on a Thursday.
The last two September Directs.
Yeah, the last two September Directs were on a Thursday.
Okay.
And then the one before that was Wednesday. But let's not look at the Wednesday. Let's look at the Thursdays. Yo, I'm like Charlie Kelly right now. That's his name, right? Charlie Kelly from Always Sunny.
Yeah.
With the big board connecting all the dots.
Thursday would be a great day for me personally, so they should do that.
Let me see. Wait, hold on. Let me see. 2018. 2018 was a Thursday. Yo, they're loving Thursdays.
Wesley Best in the chat says Tokyo Game Show was September 30th. So that's why maybe a Nintendo Direct has like predated that, because they wanted to have things ready for Tokyo Game Show. Like make the announcement and then show the stuff off. They used to do that with PAX West also, I think. They would like make the announcement and then show a bunch of stuff at PAX West.
So what day is that? The 30th, that you said?
That's what Wesley Best said. But
then the 29th is a Thursday, so it could be the 29th.
Well, not necessarily.
We got 3 more Thursdays.
Not necessarily right before the Tokyo Game Show, but
all right, now we're just going down our own little rabbit hole. It really could be.
We're literally
any day.
naming every date.
It
could be this week. It could be next week. But that's how, industry insiders do this. They just shotgun blast a bunch of dates and some random information that is super obvious, and eventually they'll get something right.
I'm gonna guess. I want you to guess, and I'm gonna do a guess, and we're gonna see who gets closest. This is completely guessing too. But because Splatoon comes out tomorrow, I think a week later on Thursday the 15th would be a good day to do a direct. It's not too late in the month, so you can announce all the stuff happening in October. And you can do like a wrap up of the first week of Splatoon, and maybe like a look at some stuff coming down the line in the future. So I'm gonna guess a week from today, the 15th. Tokyo Game Show is the 15th. I'm gonna guess the 22nd. Sorry, chat just pointed something out.
I would guess sometime in the week of the 22nd. Yeah, somewhere between the 19th and the 23rd makes the most sense to me.
Pick a date. Pick just a date.
A date? Oh my god!
Yeah.
I want it so badly to be the 22nd, because that's a Thursday, and that would just be great.
So I'll take next week. You take the week after. We'll see who's right. You want to put money on it? Who's closest?
No, I'm in debt to you.
No, you're not. You paid your debt.
Yeah, but I'm a net loss when it comes to bets with wood right now. Okay?
That is true.
I'm treading lightly. I need to do surefire bets. And I thought that one was a surefire bet, and I got canned.
Yeah, because I'm better at Smash.
I want to fucking kill everybody.
Okay, so anything else you want to see at the direct before we move on? Because there's a lot I want to talk about today. But anything
I would
else?
love some GameCube games. Imagine Melee coming to the Switch. That would be
really cool.
That would explode on online. A lot of Melee people would go nuts, and I'm sure they'll find a million problems with it.
Yeah, literally.
But that would be huge if Nintendo acknowledges Melee again, or re-releases it for the first time since it came out. Otherwise, I like to go into things with little to no expectation, so then I'm not disappointed. Some Mario stuff would be nice. Mario's got nothing going on.
So this is random, and I don't want to be a little bit of a Debbie Downer here. But
Are you reading the chat? Are you reading the chat?
We're live, so I guess I'll mention it.
Is it wrong to say it's a little funny? It's a little funny.
It's a little wrong.
We're talking about Nintendo stuff. This is a Nintendo podcast.
Yeah.
Why are people in the chat telling us the Queen died?
Because
does that make any sense?
Because the connection here is Grubb, who I've heard of Grubb. I don't really know who it is. But
Jeff Grubb?
I know he's in. Jeff Grubb said the direct.
Did he kill the Queen?
Delayed. Stop.
Why does he have anything to do with the Queen dying?
He said that the direct could be. I shouldn't be laughing about this. Stop it. The direct could be delayed because of the death of the Queen. Because apparently the Queen of England is dying right now. Now, since we are live, I want to ask chat why those two things correlate. That's an honest question. She seems like hopefully a lovely lady.
She's so old.
She
had
really
a good
old.
Run. There's other go to a fucking news stream and talk about it there.
Look,
did she play video games? You know what? She did. She got the golden Wii.
She did get the golden Wii.
She had a Wii. It went up for auction like a few months ago.
Can I inherit? Oh, they knew it was happening?
Yeah. What? Actually, yes, probably. She was super old.
I'm part of the Commonwealth. Yeah, she's kind of my queen.
Mm-hmm. So are you hurt?
No, I'm only laughing because Bob is being ridiculous. But she is really old. She's like 96, and I don't know. I've heard some horrible things about the whole royal family, but I think I've always heard that she's really nice and just a really sweet lady. So she's not dead. Yeah, to clarify, she is sick right now. So I don't know.
Why did the chat explode with that? Because I knew she was sick when we were going into it.
This is why we don't do this live, Bob. Jeff Grubb, Nintendo Direct Queen. I'm going to Google it really quickly.
Can I do the Deckmate sponsor?
Oh, sure. You do that. I'll look this up.
Guys.
What a transition.
Whoa, guys. I can't believe it. This video is sponsored by a very special guy. Wood, do you know anything about Deckmate? Don't worry. You don't need to. Wood, when you play your Steam Deck, how do you, oh my God, you have it right there. When you play your Steam Deck, how do you lay it on the table? Put it on the table.
It's a little bit of table back here. I lay it like this, which I don't like.
That's dumb. You're stupid and also an idiot. Look at this.
Well, I don't have any other way. Bob, I don't have any other way.
Oh! Look at it standing. Oh! I'm all strapped in. It's been standing here the whole time. Because I have the Deckmate. It's a little thing you snap on, and it makes it like a little Nintendo Switch kickstand.
Oh my God.
It sits right on the deck.
Mate.
You can go like this, and it snaps on. It also has little, I didn't really, and I popped the thing out.
Well, it's
meant to pop out because, so you don't break it. So it also has a little thing here. I didn't realize this until I looked at the website. It has a thing here where you can put SD cards. You can put 2 micro
that's
SD
really
cards
cool.
there. But this is just one of the things. It has some other really cool stuff. Don't freak out. The address on here is my P.O. box. So if I dox myself, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
Where's the stuff?
I love the name. It's very Aussie. Deckmate.
Deckmate.
Get yourself a Deckmate.
So it has the thing for the kickstand. It also has, this is a really cool thing. Do you know what this is?
I do know what that is.
What is it?
I
what do you call it?
I call it an X-wing spin. An X spin.
It's called a VESA mount. So you can mount your whole ass Steam Deck as if it were a monitor on a stand.
Oh my God. Actually, I was going to say that looks like what I put in the back of my monitor yesterday when I hitched it up.
That's this.
That's crazy.
And I just ripped this whole studio apart before we started trying to find a VESA mount stand, and I couldn't find one. Because that would have been cool. It also has these little stickies. You could stick it to your wall if you're brave enough. and some smaller ones too. And that's it. That's the stuff they had. They also gave us a little note here. Should I read this out loud?
Do I get some? I want some. Did they send 2?
We did send 2, but you didn't come here.
Okay, I'll get it on Saturday, hopefully.
So I couldn't send it to you. Oh yeah, you're gonna come here, hopefully. So this is it. This is their website. They got all different stuff. The main thing is the kickstand. It's pretty cool. I believe. Now I probably should have figured this out beforehand, but I believe it's $15. Oh, the kickstand's $15. The whole shebang is $20. So
that is
you
not
slap
bad.
all that together. Or if you have a 3D printer, they'll just give you the files.
Oh, really? That's super nice.
Pay what you can. You can print your own deck, mate. You don't even pay anything. So check that out.
I will say that's going to come in super handy for when I'm shooting B-roll of like games, because I never have a good way of like putting this on the table to shoot the B-roll.
It's super annoying. But
also, can I add that you can use, and I don't know if this is part of the read, maybe we can cut this out, but you can use Joy-Cons now on your Steam Deck. They added support for that. Mm-hmm. So you could get the deck, mate, set it up on a table and use Joy-Cons and play your Steam Deck games.
So if you want to check out Deckmate, you don't have to pay the full $20 for the thing, $15 for the little kickstand. You get 15% off just for listening to this podcast.
Oh my God,
you
that's
use
so nice.
code Nontendo because that's our code. And I'll save you 15% on your little Deckmate stand guy. I'm quickly reading through all the notes here to make sure that I hit everything.
That's code Nontendo. You can find a link in the description of this video. If you're listening to the audio, go to deckmate.com. Use code Nontendo. If you can't see, if you haven't gathered by what you're listening right now, it literally turns the Steam Deck into a portable gaming device in many different ways, and you can use controllers on the Steam Deck too. So
that's the whole
really
thing.
Cool.
Like yesterday, I had a film. I completely forgot that I had the Deckmate here. I thought it was at my house. I had a film, and I had no way to stand up the stupid Steam Deck. It's so annoying.
It is a little annoying.
So like having this thing, it's because I equate the Steam Deck to a Switch, and the Switch you don't even think about it, you just pop it out.
So once again, that's code Ya Hungry?
No.
At Steam. Sorry, no, I was reading chat. That's that's the code Nontendo at deckmate.com.
Deckmate.com. No, deckmate.me. Deckmate.
Oh, deckmate.me.
Just me. Honestly, Google Deckmate. That's how I found the website.
Deckmy.me. Sorry about that, mate. All right, so I found these tweeties. So Grub tweeted saying, according to Quarter Dan from Giant Bomb, Nintendo Direct has likely been delayed because of the Queen of England. I'm not joking. You can come ask us right now about it. And then he put a link to his Twitch, sorry. And then also he said, Nintendo never announced a Direct, so if you're mad, you're going to be mad at me. That's risk of this. I'll let you know more as I hear it. I mean, that is true. They never actually announced it, so they can't really delay something they haven't announced. Right. But internally, it sounds like they've delayed their plans, which, again, and I mean absolutely no disrespect here. This is obviously a huge thing that's happening, but are those things really a one-for-one?
Well, okay, I understand delaying it if the event happens like on the day that you wanted to do the thing, you know?
Oh, wait.
What?
16 minutes ago.
Yeah.
She died.
I know. I believe the chat. Was there going to be a fucking Direct today? I don't think so.
No, I just saw it. Oh, now I'm sad.
Oh,
should I be sad?
I don't think
no,
so.
I guess I'm not.
I mean, anybody dying is a sad thing. But like, we're doing a stupid Nintendo podcast today. What does this have to do with the Queen?
Let's never do one of these live again. Chat, you're in the naughty corner.
Yeah, this is your guys' fault and definitely not mine. Our condolences to our British fans and them only.
Our condolences. Not
everybody
just
else.
Fans,
no,
not just British
anybody
fans.
else who's talking in the chat saying some shit, you're not allowed.
Bob, she's part of the Commonwealth, is part of Australia and Canada, and I'm sure some other places. The Queen is on the money of both of those places, so to all of our So all of our European fans, all of our Canadian fans, anyone that cares about this situation, where our thoughts and prayers are with you at this time. I don't pray, but I think that's what you're supposed to say. It is sad, and we're not making light of it, but from a different aspect, it is weird that these two things correlate. I don't really understand why a direct is going to be delayed over this, especially since I don't feel like one was coming anytime in the next few days, not with the release of Splatoon.
Well, they have to release Splatoon, and then they need to have something else to get people hyped about. So Splatoon comes out tomorrow, so give it a couple days, and then maybe announce the new slate of stuff you got coming out.
I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Also, really quickly, I think we can be done with the direct talk. I mean, we can go on a little bit here, and we got a lot of stuff to get through. So really quickly, as we transition into the next thing, I want to thank Doc Tip for a $5 dono.
I forgot we're live.
Yeah, I know. I want to read these real quick. It's really cool that we're getting them. Do you really believe that we will see the name for Breath of the Wild 2? Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Totally. We could, if that's still sticking to the March area release date that a lot of people are theorizing, we could totally see a name for that. And that would be the next big reveal, really, if they were to show that game again, is to give us a name. If so, what do you think it'll be called? Now that I got no freaking clue, because these games get named wild things. The last one was literally called Breath of the Wild, which I don't think anyone would be able to guess. So unless Bob wants to take a shot in the dark, that's...
The Legend of Zelda, Zelda's the Boy now. That's the name of the game.
It's more than likely going to be correct. Logan with a 5 as well. Been wanting to ask this my whole life, how much wood can you chuck? I very much dislike that joke. I get it all the time, but I appreciate the dono. It's September 8th, right? My lord, we've had quite a few donos here. Mike D with a 5. This is for starting on time. Yeah, for those that are listening after the fact, we were about 15 minutes late. Isaac with a 5. I did this because I thought I was on my Twitch YT account, but I'm not. Okay, not sure what that means. Matthew, $5 for not being crap. Thank you both. I guess
thanks, dude.
We're not crap. That's good.
We can, if you want, we can do all of the donos at the end, and then we could just clip it out of the YouTube video.
That's a great point. I have like 2 more though. Should I just smash it?
Smash it.
We could also just cut this out too.
True.
Elements. What do you think? That we could also just cut this out of the audio version. The editor can cut it out, and we'll just leave it in the video version.
Okay.
I mean, we'll talk about it later. Elements, what do you guys think? There would be a Disney's gaming showcase? I have no idea, but I appreciate the 10. Thank you so much. I didn't even know that was a thing. And Dr. Socrate was the last one. No, Sahil and Dr. Socrate were the last ones. AC is broken. Sucks. How am I supposed to talk about both of you behind your back if you are in the same stream? Dr. Socrate, I have no idea. All right, Bob.
We're always watching you. You can never talk bad about us.
Thank you for all the donos. Any more, we'll read at the end. All right, I want to talk about the Pokemon trailer that we had yesterday, which, by the way, Pokemon and Nintendo announced that trailer was releasing the day before, like it was a direct or something, which is weird they're doing that now. And I had a lot of people asking me, are you going to go live at 8 a.m. to stream the trailer? I was like, what, the minute-and-a-half trailer?
Yeah, it was like 2 minutes, right? Because I was very confused. I obviously did not wake up for it. I was also on the West Coast, so I was completely not waking up for that. But it came out, and I watched it, and I was like, is this what everybody saw? Like, this can't be all the information. Because I saw everybody picking out all this random stuff from it, and I was where did you get that? I watched...
Who would pick out all of this stuff? Anyway, I have several dot points here I would like to go over.
Well, you know how I was really harping on how the multiplayer is going to work.
Yeah.
I watched that thing like this, waiting for anything, and I saw absolutely nothing about how the multiplayer is going to work.
Eyes wide open. No, there was nothing about.
So tell me what this trailer taught us, because I saw some new Pokemon, and that's about it.
Okay, well, first up, don't come at me because I haven't said anything about this yet. I agree. There wasn't too much new, but I saw some really cool things. I mean, there were new Pokemon. First up, I don't know if you have the trailer open. but I want to find the part if I can really quickly while I talk about it, and I want to direct your eyes to it. Yeah, here it is. I want you to go to 40 seconds into this trailer. Now, we're not going to have it up on the screen. We're live, and we didn't really plan for this. So if you're playing along at home, oh, okay, do that. Yeah, good, do that. Go to like 40 seconds first. In. You don't have premium?
Not on the Nontendo Podcast account.
Oh, we need to get premium for that. Yeah, 40 seconds in, literally right there. Yeah, watch this gameplay here and explain to me what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I saw AJ tweeted this, and he's like, "I knew it," and I was like, "What did you know? I don't know what this means."
Yeah, so there's a couple things. I'm not going to get you to skip around, but later in the trailer, there's a lot of traditional battling. There's a full-on in a stadium traditional Pokemon, exactly how we've seen it for the last billion years. There's another like Mad Max bit where someone's on this big like souped up truck thing and they're battling off the truck, and that looks like normal. But then right here in this part, you've got this more free form where they're throwing out an attack order while moving around the battle. Like the player is moving around the battle,
almost like
and then
Arceus.
The Pokemon, yeah, almost like Arceus, and the Pokemon are running up to the other Pokemon and doing the attack. Like we just saw there with Frey Coco. But yeah, we got the trainer moving here.
So what I think this is... So I don't know what the hell this is. But
that's wild Pokemon there, obviously, too.
Okay, so what people were... What it seems like is happening is you can have your buddy that's like out, like in the world, like out next to you. You can have him do things like
well, you got
grab
two
items and stuff. Yeah, there's two, which is weird. But they could also battle Pokemon on their own for XP. But then I think they just knock them out.
Yeah, what it looks like to me,
they were calling it like a Pokemon Go type mechanic or a Let's Go type mechanic, I think.
What you're about to show there is the Mad Max battle, by the way. You may as well let that play out because it's pretty cool.
Okay. I'll play it first.
It's literally like a souped up hot rod, Mad Max style up top, rocking out and doing the battle from up there, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. But what I'm getting out of that first part was in the wild areas, which I'm assuming this whole game is wild areas. But the wild areas, the battles are more freeform. When you catch Pokemon, it's kind of more loosey-goosey, where you run around, and it's more interactive, which I really like. But then they kept the trainer battles more traditional, where it's just set places, and that could also be a limitation thing where they didn't really know how they would have both trainers running around at the same time, and how that would all interact and engage is a whole new system that they can't really map around. Whereas wild Pokemon, they probably have a better understanding of how they're going to react to the player. So it might just be a technical limitation thing. Nintendo isn't there yet. Or they were like, well, we'll give both players, like both these kinds of players, what they want. There's a lot of people asking for these more freeform Arceus style, and a lot of people saying, no, please keep it traditional. So here's the middle ground, right? The wild area, the wild Pokemon, the places where it doesn't really matter and it's more fun, you're catching, that's freeform. The trainer battles are technical, they're the same as they've always been, it's traditional, and that's kind of the middle ground I think maybe they found here. And I'm actually all for that. I'm fine to meet the other half of the fan base halfway.
So you know how in Pokemon Go you can get like a little bracelet, and like the little bracelet, like in real life, you get the little bracelet and you walk by like a Pokemon stop or whatever and it spins it for you, or you come across a Pokemon and it tries to catch it for you. That's what I assumed this was. Like you have a little side Pokemon and he just grabs items for you and he battles other Pokemon for you while you're just walking around the world.
That's cool. I mean, that's cool.
I don't want to read the chat too much, but Pim in the chat says they're auto battles. All the bad guys throw out their Pokemon and you have a time limit to kill as many of them as you can. That seems weird. If you kill enough, you can face the boss. It's on the website. And I'm trying to look at the website and I don't see it at all.
Well, my idea was great, so I hope that happens.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is. I never heard. I heard the term auto battles. I didn't hear all that other stuff that you said.
Well, hopefully it doesn't go Xenobladey. But
what is Xenobladey? What do they do in Xenoblade?
Auto battles.
Oh, so the game just plays for you?
Kind of. It's like the attacking happens automatically, and then you have ways of engaging with it by yelling certain commands, which is very Xenobladey. And I could kind of see that working in this format, right? The two Pokemon are just doing basic attacks back and forth, and then you charge up a meter for like Ember or Fire Blast, and they're like, "Hey, do that now," and you can kind of time attacks that way. That could actually kind of work. I'd actually be kind of down for that now I think about it.
All right, I found a source. IGN says auto battles take place through a new feature called Let's Go that lets players send off their partner Pokemon to explore in the nearby area, during which they can take on wild Pokemon in their own fight. Announced on the Pokemon website following a new trailer below being released, auto battles, as the name suggests, take place independently of the player's involvement. This means that while you can stick around and watch your Pokemon battle another, you can also walk away and explore the area. Okay. Auto battles also let the Pokemon earn experience points, though it's unclear if there's a limit to the time or number of battles it can engage in before requiring another command from the player. So that's what it seems like. I don't know about having other trainers battle it. It seems like you're just going to be battling wild Pokemon.
Yeah, and again, I'm fine for that split if the wild Pokemon are more experimental. I mean, this whole Pokemon game is so wacky, dude. Like, the more we see about it, the more I really feel like they are just going out here on a limb with a lot of stuff. And I know it's, again, maybe not what we always envisioned, what we always wanted, maybe not enough for some people like yourself, but it's still getting really weird out there with some of the things they're doing. Something interesting I wanted to bring up was, and I found this really interesting. So in the trailer, there's a moment, you can probably find it, it's about the middle of the trailer, where there's a giant crab on a cliff. And I find this interesting for a couple of reasons. One, the crab design itself is super cute. I love the little crab guy. Cloth, I believe his name is, or something like that. What I find interesting here, if you back up a little bit, he is on the side of the rock face, and his design is to blend in with the rock, the side of the cliff here.
Oh.
You see that?
Yeah.
Now, what I find really interesting about this is, you think about Pokemon designs. How do they come up with Pokemon ideas? How have they come up with Pokemon in the past? This is an idea that's clearly come about because they've designed a Pokemon game in 2022, and they've seen these giant rock cliffs that they've created, and someone at some point's gone, what if there was a Pokemon camouflaged into the game that then popped out? So now you have a whole Pokemon designed around this 2022 version of a video game, which is really interesting because in the past, that's not really how Pokemon have been designed or created or really thought about, You've had certain areas, but you haven't had like actual interacting with the environment like this before.
Yeah, Pokemon are usually, I mean, Pokemon is very good at slow incremental updates year over year. They just have very small changes to the games. Historically, Pokemon's always like, there's overworld stuff, and then if you want to see a Pokemon, it's in like a battle or something, it's in a different spot. So the environment and the Pokemon themselves are just completely separate. So having them be together in some way is kind of a big change.
Yeah, and then having that inspire the design is just interesting because, years from now, like you have 5-10 years from now, this Pokemon is going to exist. It's going to be here, and a lot of people are just going to see a little crab. It's going to look cute, but we're going to know that design was inspired by the cliff face in friggin' Scarlet and Violet. Like that's where it got its design from. It's not just a cute looking crab. So I find stuff like that really interesting.
Did you see the Mega Man Pokemon?
The Mega Man and the Zero Pokemon, who are literally Mega Man and Zero, but color swapped.
This is the first Pokemon I'm like, I want that guy.
Yeah, I
give
bet.
me that.
You're
give me that guy.
Big Mega Man fan.
So apparently they're exclusive too. So Mega Man is exclusive to Scarlet and Zero is exclusive to Violet, which is a little upsetting. I might have to get Violet. I might have to get Violet for the Zero.
Wait, you wanted Zero?
I want Zero, yeah, I think.
Oh, okay. I figured you'd be all over the Arm Blaster, man.
No, I like the sword. I'm more a swordy guy.
These two designs, do you bring them up?
I want both. I want both.
Bob, it's easy. We'll make it happen, buddy. These two designs, they're so clearly Mega Man and Zero, and it's literally their colors just swapped.
I literally just Googled Mega Man Pokemon, and it was the first link.
Yeah, I mean, this has to be intentional. I mean, Pokemon in the past have done some really intentional things. Last generation, we had one of the band members from Kiss, I believe, turned into that Zigzagoon evolution. And we've had many examples like that in the past of Pokemon literally being inspired by public figures, by other characters. And I mean, this just has to be Mega Man. Like, I don't see this not. I mean, there's no way Game Freak designed this character with an arm blaster that looks like Mega Man and didn't go, this kind of looks like Mega Man.
A little Samus too, because of how big the shoulders are. I
do see that. Yeah, I do see that.
Shoulders. But yeah, then especially the sword one. That's super Mega Man-y design. Mega Man's got a very simple design though, so I understand a little bit of overlap. But this seems like straight up from like a Mega Man Battle Network or something. But so they're both fire types, but one of them's ghost and one of them's psychic or something.
It's funny. I mentioned how many Pokemon have been based on things that even goes back to the original series, and I always forget about this, but Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan are literally based off of Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. And that was in the first generation of Pokemon. And then Obstagoon was the Pokemon I was thinking of, and it was Kiss. I think I may have said Kiss.
You did.
Gene Simmons. So, and then, this has to be Mega Man and Zero. I love it. I think it's really cool. You know what would be sick? If the shiny versions are color swapped back. So you could have like the actual colors of both.
So the Mega Man guy, the arm cannon guy, Armorogue, he's fire and psychic. And the other one, Ceruledge, is fire and ghost. I would have liked to have both on the team, but I don't want two fire types.
You can. Oh, that's true. You could double down.
I think fire ghost is a pretty sick combo.
Fire ghost is also the last Pokemon game I had a fire ghost in my party. That lantern thing.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked. Yeah, fire ghost is a really sick combination. It comes in handy.
Yeah.
Also, Drippy, I believe, is a ghost type, and you teach it a fire move because it's OP having a fire move on a ghost type. Drippy, but then it evolves to like Dragapult or something. I forget. It's really cool.
I know every Pokemon.
I know a lot about last gen because I played it. I completed the Pokédex last gen, and I do plan on doing it in this one as well.
I don't.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna beat the game, and then that's it. At most.
The last thing I wanted that I noticed in this trailer that stood out to me was, and it goes back to the crab, but that crab on the wall was a Titan crab. So I'm guessing that this game, and we saw this a little in Arceus, well, a lot, where you had different sized Pokemon in Arceus. And this crab is a Titan version. So I'm assuming around the world of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you'll find Titan versions of Pokemon, which will be giant Pokemon that'll be much harder to take down. And kind of reminiscent, I guess, to Gigantamax battles or whatever, but these are just in the world, and they're not quite that big. They're just really big. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited.
We've had different size Pokemon, before. So what is it called in Arceus? They have the big Pokemon in Arceus too, right?
They're just called like large and small and all of that. But I'm talking like the Titan looks massive. Like if you look at the size of Sprigatito in the trailer next to this Pokemon, I mean it's a big crab. It's a big crab. But that's everything that stood out to me in the trailer. Other than I'm just really excited. The more I see of this game, the more I do get hyped for it. I think it's got some really cool new Pokemon designs. I think the world is exciting. There's going to be a lot to do, a lot to explore. I am excited to see how the co-op thing works. Actually, quickly, fun story. Temtem just released on Switch.
Oh, yeah. How's that?
Really good, actually. So Scoot and I went live on Twitch, and Temtem is a more traditional Pokemon game. Literally, it's made to be a Pokemon game, but harder. It's like really hard. And it's an MMO, and you can play co-op. So I'm interested to see how Pokemon's co-op works, because Temtem's co-op was pretty sick. I added Scoot as a friend. He joined my game, and then we just were playing the game together. If he got into a wild battle, I got pulled into it. They're always double battles. We can catch either of the Pokemon, or we can knock them out. All the battles in the game we do together, all the missions, because it's an MMO, so there's a lot of missions in the game. All of that is completely, we share progress, we share everything. It's cross-save, so you can play on PC, and you play your save on Switch. It's really cool, and I think it's going to completely eclipse what Pokemon is going to manage to do as far as its online, which we've talked about kind of just looks like you're just kind of maybe like a ghost in someone's world, and we're not sure how progression's going to work and all of that, but we'll see.
That's the thing, is that I don't have any faith in what the Pokemon company is going to do with all these different changes. That's why I'm trying to watch these trailers with like a little microscope, being like, what's new and what's different? How are they solving these problems that they're going to introduce with all of these different features that people want? And one of them being the multiplayer. That's what because that seems to introduce the most problems. Otherwise, auto battling seems like a huge change. But if it's just fighting wild Pokemon, I think that's just gonna kind of jumpstart everyone's XP. Everyone's gonna have just massive swole Pokemon by the end of it.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they'll find a way to balance all of that. But again, it's going to be interesting just seeing how the gyms work. I mean, you can do them in any order. So how is that going to work? How is XP going to work in that?
That's another thing. They mentioned the 3 story paths, the 3 branching, the 3 different campaigns basically that you do at the same or at your leisure. One of them is the gym battles. One of them is the whatever their version of Team Rocket is. And then one of them is some other bullshit. I don't remember. But that's basically one? That's what we assumed. That's what we assumed it was going to be. Which is just it's just basically it's just an open Pokemon. You could just do whatever. You know.
I know. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be one of my favorite games of the year. The end of this year does get a little poggies. I mean, that game, Bayonetta, Splatoon. I think there's one more big Nintendo game coming out in that time. I can't remember though. Chat will let me know. Let me know, chat. We're live. You can do that. Shovel Knight? No, that was definitely it. Okay, I had a lot more to talk about that I wanted to talk about.
Really, all we need to talk about still is Splatoon. Because it comes out probably by the time most people are listening to this.
There is more I wanted to talk about. But yeah, it comes out at this point, technically, tonight, if you're in New York City, because Nintendo in the Nintendo store in New York is doing a midnight launch somewhere between like 11 to 2 a.m.
Yeah, I sent you that, not because I wanted to go, but because I just thought it's interesting that they're doing midnight launches again, because they haven't since COVID, basically. They shut down everything, and they haven't. I don't think this is the first midnight launch they've done since then.
Yeah, no, I would love for midnight launches to come back. I know the way things still are, but I love them. I mean, even if GameStop wanted to start doing some limited midnight launches, I just love getting the games early. And
I think it's a combination of COVID and also people just get games digitally and nobody shows up to the midnights anymore.
Yeah, I think maybe
Nintendo
a lot of these companies...
store is a little different because that's like a big event. It's the Nintendo store. They don't have that everywhere.
I think a lot of GameStops realize that it doesn't matter. They don't have to staff the store again at midnight. People will just come in the morning in regular hours, and they probably save money that way. It is just a cool event, though, and I do like grabbing the games early. And lately, I've been forced to be... Because you can go on like Australian eShop, and you can get games a day early. So if I want to stream it the night before, I've just been going and getting it digitally and then doubling down. But
are
midnight
you
launches...
do that tonight? I am not.
No, I guess I'm supposed to stream tonight. Hey, everybody. I'll be live on Twitch tonight. Maybe playing Splatoon. I was going to play more Temtem, but you're right. I guess I could do that.
I was going to stream tonight, but I'm late on my video, and I'd rather spend time on that. But if I do stream, probably won't be Splatoon.
Well, that's upsetting.
I'll stream that tomorrow. I do want to play it. Listen, we both played a little bit of Splatoon already, and we were like, whatever. It's whatever.
Oh, that midnight launch would be tonight.
Yes, I know you were a little confused because you thought because it's technically Friday at midnight.
Yeah.
So it's tonight, Thursday.
I got a
night.
little confused. I was saying to Bob, "Oh, I'll come up for the midnight launch, and then we could do the podcast." But that would be a whole day early.
That would have made a little bit of sense, but yeah, it would have been a whole day early.
But yeah, I wanted to touch quickly on Splatoon because it comes out tomorrow. I'm really excited, and we all played the beta.
No,
in fact,
hold on, stop with that. Okay, we talked about it on the podcast a few weeks ago, and the big controversy was this game is just like Splatoon 2, and both of us came to Splatoon's defense, and we were like, no, there's definitely some shit going on that's different. This is a totally different game. They got new weapons and stuff. The meta is going to be different. It's going to be a completely different thing. Then we played the Splatfest, and both of us were like, this is the same game. This is Splatoon 2.
Yeah,
you did not have a good time. You did not have a good time.
No, I had a good time. I did.
You had a good time because you were playing with your friends.
Yes, I had a good time playing with my friends. But let's not get it too twisted. I do love the game, and I am excited to play the game. But I did
You
have
told
a realization.
Jackson, you were like, I gotta be honest with you, I'm feigning excitement. You said that on stream.
You gotta stop calling me out. I'm trying
You said
to
it on stream. You said it.
No one's watching that stream. Hey,
stop. That's mean. That's mean. Because Jackson's been doing it too now. I see Jackson talking about how excited he is for the game. I was like, Jackson, you just said that the game sucks like a week ago when you were playing it with Wood.
Calm down.
I think he only said it because you said it. And he was just like, yeah, I hate it too.
There are two different things going on here. I don't hate the game. I like the game. We came at the game's defense saying that it looked very different, and then we played it and it didn't feel different at all. And that's what I said. I do feel like I was wrong because this game feels essentially exactly like the second Splatoon. What I said was this beta kind of sucks because it kind of feels like I'm playing Splatoon 2. But if I was to go get Splatoon 2 out of the closet right now and put it in, I would have the whole game. I would have the Octopath expansion. I would have like all the clothing items. The whole game would be available to me. Whereas this beta is the Splatoon 2 gameplay with nothing. So it was kind of boring. Like it was. I was just having to go through the same thing over and over and over again. But what I said was, I'm sure the full game that I'm waiting for to come out tomorrow will have all that extra content. The one thing I am bummed out about is the base game at its core doesn't feel like it's changed too much to me. So I was excited for some more like, I don't know, faster flippies, dodges, or like maybe like some change up in the gameplay. But it doesn't really feel like it's there.
They did some stuff, like one of the big mechanic changes is like you can wall kick or like you can bounce off the wall while you're a squid or something. And like that's supposed to. But honestly, I'm not advanced enough to do stuff like that. It just feels like the same freaking game to me. So, yeah, you're right. Part of the problem with the beta is that you're just playing the one game mode and that's it. I played it a little more at PAX. I played 2 games of Turf War. And God, that felt exactly the same as Splatoon 2. But behind closed doors, I didn't get to do this, but they had a demo for the single player. And the single player, they've been very, hush-hush about.
Secret,
we don't know. Yeah, we don't know like anything. Well, I think IGN just posted a review on it. So reviews for the single player are out. They seem to be pretty positive. I might, when I get the game, that might be the first thing I do is jump into the single player. Because that's fair. That's what I'm most interested in. I think Splatoon is good. I don't really have a lot of fun playing the multiplayer. I have fun because I'm just around people that I like. The game is just kind of mindless to me. But I'm also not good at it. It's not my thing. I'm a lot more interested in how the single player is going to go because I do like the mechanics and I would like to experience them in like a platforming, like shooter, single player kind of way, and I think that it has a lot of potential there to be worth a full $60 new release.
No, I agree. The price tag that's coming along with this new game is going to be worth it because of all the stuff we didn't get access to in the beta. So my review of the game is going to be completely different, hopefully starting at some point tonight. And I legitimately am excited. There is a lot of fun to be had just around like the little town that you start in, and then buying all the little outfits and collecting all the stuff, and then going out to battle with it and leveling it up, and then coming back with more money and buying more stuff. I like that loop quite a lot. It gives you something else to do rather than, I guess, we'll queue up for another battle I'm probably going to lose. I still feel like the weapons need a lot of balancing, and that was beta, so maybe a lot of them will be balanced. There's no point going into it right now, but just guns are king in that game. Like, there's almost no point using anything else if you want to have a good time, in my opinion. But maybe I'm wrong. The splat roller is pretty OP.
Yeah, I've only had a good time with the guns. Yeah. And the basic stuff,
Okay.
like I don't even know what the new guns are. I don't know which ones are the ones that I should be
it would be
trying
nice
out.
actually if the beta had like new on the new weapons,
Yeah.
because I can't remember.
I was basically just using the zapper the whole time.
I know the crossbow was new because it's on the cover of the game, so I was trying that thing, and that was actually pretty fun, but kind of like hard to use. So
yeah,
I think we're approaching the end here. So
we are.
I wanna say quickly, I want to address something from last week, because you weren't in the premiere that we did last week.
Yes.
Because you went on a trip, which also, by the way, probably should have clarified, which is why we're doing this live. If anyone's wondering why we're live this week, Bob went away on a week-and-a-half trip, which at this point we were going to talk about, but at this point we're going to do, I'm guessing, in the Patreon bonus episode following this, which will also be live for you Patreons. And if you want to watch that, you got to go to the Patreon. Bob was gone for a week and a half. So Bob, you didn't get to watch the premiere of last week, and it was kind of a beep show in the chat.
I popped in for a second and I went, "Oh, it's that episode." And I
So last week we were trying to figure out how we would fix, quote unquote, Nintendo's games that we put in lower tiers on our tier list. So the F tier, D tiers, C tiers, games like that. Now, Bob, I was in the chat and I was getting a little heated with some of the people because a lot of people were getting a little upset that we were trying to fix their favorite games.
I'm sorry, your favorite games are bad. I'm sorry, guys.
I was trying to say in chat, but I don't think it. And I was sitting in the car while Kim was in the dentist. And I'm messaging on my phone, the chat. So I was trying to convey as quickly as I could what the situation was, but here it is, just out in the open. Every single game we talked about, 95% of them, there hasn't even been one of those games since the 3DS, because they're not very successful games. They're not super popular games. And they're games that really, to exist in 2022 or past that, need a big shakeup or something that those games can have done to them to kind of be successful now in this current day. Because clearly whatever they were doing in the past were making them unsuccessful and giving them these really passionate but niche fan bases. And how can you reintroduce that so we can actually get a new game that's successful? And that's the conversation we were trying to have. We weren't trying to say that any of the games were bad necessarily. A lot of them were fantastic in their time, but just wouldn't work now. And then I had an interesting conversation with someone because I was we were trying to figure out how to make these games more fun. And a lot of people seem to get behind this mentality of games don't have to be fun to be successful. And that was the weirdest argument.
Well,
and I was tweeting about it after the fact, but a lot of people were look at Fortnite. Fortnite isn't fun, but wildly successful. And I was trying to, in the comments, be you just don't like Fortnite. That doesn't mean it's not fun. It's just not fun for you.
There's definitely an example of a game that is not fun, but people play it anyway. But it's got to be something like Factorio or one of those. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could say that about Fall Guys. I find Fall Guys to be the most boring, non-fun game in the friggin' world, but it's so successful. But I know that's a me problem. I'm not about to say the game is boring. The game obviously isn't boring to a lot of people. So yeah. Anyway,
no, that's an absolutely wild take.
it was a wild take. That was the first time that I was in our chat like, why am I arguing with our fans right now? We're just trying to talk about Nintendo games. And also, I want to say that we only had like 2 games in the bottom tier, and our S, A, and B tiers were chocked full with 90% of the Nintendo library because we are such Nintendo fanboys to like through and through that we love everything Nintendo. There was a few games down there that need work, and we were trying to fix them.
But that episode was also Jackson's redemption arc.
Yeah.
How did that go?
By the way,
no,
it worked
okay,
really
good.
well. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I mean, a lot of people had really nice things to say about him in the main episode, but the Patreon bonus episode, for those that didn't watch it, we actually had a really big heart-to-heart with Jackson. It was about 30 minutes of talking about what happened. He was talking about how he was been struggling as a new creator and didn't really know how to find his footing.
Let's back up a little bit. It's a redemption for Jackson because we had the episode with the tier list where he was just talking a lot, and the I don't know, the comments just destroyed him for some reason.
Yeah, he got eaten alive. He was even getting Twitter DMs harassing him over it. Like, it was really rough. Yeah. But the Patreon episode, we went into more detail, and a lot of the Patreons, like the Patreon chat in Discord is just, if you go and read it now, it's filled with love for Scootish. The Patreon post on Patreon is filled with love for Scootish. So he's been completely redeemed. We love him to death. He's not going to be in every episode, though. Don't worry. But
don't worry. I know you're all worried that Jackson's going to be there.
We will definitely have him back on next time we need someone to help us run a tier list or something. So
to be annoying, yeah, we'll have him on definitely for sure.
No, he doesn't annoy me at all. I love him.
We like Jackson.
We do. All right.
He was supposed to come with
that
me.
Episode.
He was supposed to. He kept going back and forth about going to Seattle, and he didn't. You loved what episode? The one with Jackson or this one?
He's got a lot going on. Were you talking to me?
Yeah. Which episode did you
I love
this one?
This was really fun.
I'm glad.
I really enjoyed doing this live.
It was good because we got immediate reactions from the people who watch us.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. And we're going to listen to some feedback for the episode after.
Yeah, we got some feedback right here. Did you know the Queen died?
I heard that the Queen died. If you're listening to the audio of this, that has been every other comment this entire stream. It's just
thanks for coming, everybody. Woo! Thanks for being here. I kicked the music up right when I said the Queen died.
I love you guys.
I love you guys. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. Hey, if you're listening to the audio, please remember to rate us and leave a nice little comment wherever you are listening to the podcast. If you're watching this right now live on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button because I think it'll carry over. But if you're watching this after the fact, still like, comment, subscribe, all of that. We are doing a live Patreon episode right now. And if you want to join the Patreon, you'll get almost 20 bonus episodes off the rip for $5 and a new one every single week from there. And that's, I think, everything. Oh, yeah, and a huge thank you to Deckmate. Links in the description for that. Again, deckmate.me. Use code Nontendo, please. They're a smaller company. They're working with us. We're working with them. We're trying to support each other. They were the first company that said they wanted to sponsor us. It just took us this long to get here. So we really would appreciate it, and we love them. And we love you all. So that's it. My God.
Okay, bye.
I always feel like I'm doing like an Oscar speech at the end of every episode as I try.
You're being played off.
I know. Okay, bye. Bye.